everybody. Thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to be doing a paper craft and we're going to be making these paper hyacinth flowers. You can kind of take a look at those there. So to get started, we'll go over our supplies that we need. You're going to need cardstock paper. We're going to do one in blue. You need some green construction paper that we'll use for our stem and our leaves, and then just some basic tools. I've got a ruler, pencil, a pair of scissors, a glue stick, and I'm using a knitting needle to roll my flower petals, but a pencil or a chopstick will work just fine. All right, so we're gonna start with our flower petals. So you're gonna take your cardstock paper and you need a strip that's 2 inches wide by 8.5 inches, so your standard sheet of paper. So one of those. And then for your cardstock, same thing, you need a 2-inch wide piece of paper. And cardstock's usually construction paper is usually about 9 inches long. So you need a 2 by 9 inch strip of that. And then a smaller 2 by 4 inch strip of your construction paper for your leaf. So we'll start with the flower petals. So you're going to take your piece of cardstock paper, and along the top here, get a little closer so you can see, we're going to draw a line that's 1/4 of an inch down from the top. Then along the bottom, we're going to make little hash marks, again at every 1/4 of an inch. That's where you're going to cut your paper so that you can start curling it to make your flower petals. So I've already gone ahead and done that part. I've marked my little 1/4 inch marks. So then you're going to take your scissors, and at every 1/4 inch, you're going to cut all the way up to that first line that you drew across the top. I'll do a few here so you can see what that looks like. So that's what you're going to do. So you'll have your little 1/4 inch wide strips all the way up to the top line that you drew originally, but not cutting all the way through. So you're making sort of a fringe. So do that across your entire piece of paper. And then I'm gonna do a few more so it's easier to see. So I'm not gonna do all of them, but enough to show you how to do it. So once you've got your fringe cut, you're going to actually turn the paper around so you're looking at the side that doesn't have the pencil marks on it, and you're going to start to roll your little fringe. So I'm doing it with my knitting needle. Again, a chopstick or a pencil would work just fine. But you're going to take each one and you're going to roll it in on itself all the way up to that little top piece that you left, so that it looks like that. I'll do a few more so you can see. Okay, that was a little loose. And they don't have to be perfect. You get to reshape them later if you need to. But that's the general idea. So you'll start to curl them up. So you're going to do that all the way across on all of your strips. So when you're done, it's going to look kind of like this. So you've got all of your little curls ready to go. So once you're done with that part, our next part is to make our stem. So you're going to take your bigger piece of your green construction paper, and I find that it actually works better if you take your pencil or needle and roll from the corner. So we're pretty much going to make a long narrow tube. So I've done it like this, where you start to tuck it in at the corner and just kind of start rolling it to start giving it its shape. So like that. Once you get it started, you can take it off of your needle there and take your Elmer's or glue stick and kind of just start gluing it as you go. So I'm going to start rolling it and gluing it so that it stays in its little tube form there. So I got that going, so I add a little more glue. And just keep rolling, and it should start getting longer as you go. My glue's rolling away. Mine might be a little short. I may have to spread it out a little bit there. This one's going to be a little bit of a stubby stem, but that's okay. All right, so I've got my stem here. Tack down that little edge. Again, like I said, you can use like a paper straw or a stick or anything else that you might have around if you don't want to make your own stem. So once you have your stem made, your next step is going to be to take your flower petals and attach those. So you want them to be curling out against the top of your stem, and you're going to attach them at the top here. So I'll put a little bit of glue on the beginning to get it started, and I'm just going to glue it right along the top of the stem. And then what you're going to do is start twirling it around the stem that you've created, gluing as you go. So I'm going to add a little more glue to the base here. And start that twirling. A little bit more glue at the bottom. There we go. So keep twirling and working your way down along your stem. Until you reach the end. So we've got our flower part done. Make sure our edges are a little snug there with the glue. All right, so let that sit for a minute and the glue dry, and we'll work on making our leaves. So you're going to take your 2x4 piece of construction paper there, and you're going to accordion fold it like so. You fold in one direction, and then you're going to back fold the other way. Okay, and then fold back the other way, and once more. So see how it makes like the accordion fold, zigzag back and forth. And because my stem was a little short this time, I'm actually going to trim this to make my leaf a little bit shorter. So we'll start with that. So you got a little accordion fold there. To make the leaf, you're going to have to, you want to trim it so it kind of makes a point. But you don't want to trim all the way down to the bottom, otherwise you will have 4 separate little pieces of leaves. So I'm going to cut it right like this. See how we made it into a leaf shape but left this bottom part here, so when you unfold it, made a little piece of leaf there. So your leaf, you're going to glue to your stem kind of at an angle like this to start with, and then wrap it around the base of your stem. And mine is a little short, so it's a little wonky, but get the general idea. So I'm going to glue that on. Same thing, just some glue along the base here. And then attach it to your stem where you'd like to start and just start wrapping it. And then a little glue at the end here to hold it in place. Give it a little bit to dry. And that's pretty much it. So I'll go back to my previous one with the longer stem. It looks a little better. So there you have it. A nice little spring bouquet of hyacinth paper flowers. I will attach a YouTube video that goes in a little bit more depth in the comments of this video. So if you have any questions, follow along with that. Feel free to share pictures of your finished products if you decide to try making this. We'd love to see them. And thanks for stopping by.